Machiavelli. Bitches come and go, bro. But you know.
Hope you're ready, because I'm taking you all to worch with today's episode. Spotify has changed their podcast rules due to backlash against Joe Rogan's podcast from old crusty rock stars, and I actually disagree with Joe Rogan's response. It looks like Adele could be close to facing the biggest PR nightmare of her career as her lies about her canceled tour keep piling up. Black Lives Matter pisses off even more activists who demand to know where the heck their donations are going after a $6 million mansion in Canada is purchased, and Hot Take Tuesday. I'm AlexClark, and this is POPlitics. I'm not gonna lie to you. Sometimes I don't feel super confident about the state of our country. Sometimes I don't feel like we're winning the culture war. There's days I feel like the enemy has a big gain on us, and then there are other days where I just feel exhausted from it all. Today is one of those days.
I'm tired of talking. I'm tired of training.
Neil Young, who, do you even know who that is? Yeah. Started this little revolt against Spotify for allowing Joe Rogan to do a show on their platform where he asks people questions that may or may not be pre-approved by CNN producers and shills for George Soros.
He's just some angry old man who hates joy.
Neil decided over the weekend that he was moving all of his music to Apple Podcasts because he accused Joe Rogan of spreading dangerous misinformation. Then Joni Mitchell followed suit. Then the famous self-love, self-help con artist Brene Brown had to join in because they couldn't resist a chance to virtue signal all over everybody. Meghan Markle and Harry decided that they were going to write a letter saying that they were concerned with Joe Rogan's interviews. His interviews, by the way, that have left us seeing red are the ones with Dr. Peter McCullough, a cardiologist who is the most published physician in his field in history, and the other is with Dr. Robert Malone, who owns 9 patents on the mRNA juice technology. You know, really scary quack doctors who sneak around back alleys and Walmart parking lots.
We'll roast your ass. Do you want to go to Walmart?
Spotify decided that the best course of action, shocker, is to cater to the minority and not the majority and slap a big old disclaimer on any episodes that talk about the scary sickness that we don't speak of to warn people that the guests have a differing opinion than pre-approved mainstream media leftist puppets.
I don't know who you are or where you came from, but from now on, you do as I tell you, okay?
I was holding my breath and hoping for a 2 middle fingers up in the air annihilation from Joe Rogan to Spotify for this, but instead, in my opinion, he pulled his pants down and told Spotify to go ahead and have their way with him.
One of the things that Spotify wants to do that I agree with is that at the beginning of these controversial podcasts, like specifically ones about COVID, is to put a disclaimer and say that you should speak with your physician and that these people and the opinions that they express are contrary to the opinions of the consensus of experts, which I think is very important. Sure, have that on there. I'm very happy with that.
Whatever at this point. I wish Joe Rogan would have never signed with Spotify. They have proven time and time again that they're going to just slowly close the walls in on him and he just accepts it. When they took down a couple of his episodes, he didn't care. Now they're gonna slap a warning on episodes having to do with the big C and he doesn't care about that either. He thinks it's for the best. Sorry, I'm out of F's to give. If his show ends up getting completely Alex Jones did in the next couple years, I won't be surprised and I really don't care. This is what the con is to being a die-hard moderate. You refuse to take a hard stance and accept that sometimes there isn't a middle ground. Everything isn't black or white, and then they screw you over. Ugh!
Okay, I'm done with this.
One celebrity who is dangerously close to losing her sweetheart image is Adele. Specifically because it appears she's been caught in lie after lie after lie to her fans about why she really canceled her mini Vegas residency.
Hello, Miss Adele singing woman.
Hi! At first she told fans the tour wasn't happening because of the pandemic.
It was all a lie. Guys, it was all a lie. She lied.
Then we found out that she was getting in fights with the set designer and hated the set, and that's why she allegedly canceled the show. But now it looks like she's in a super toxic relationship with her sports agent boyfriend, Rich Paul, and according to Daily Mail, she was crying every day through rehearsals and arguing with him on the phone. Then, as soon as they canceled the tour, she immediately flew to LA to be with him to fix their relationship. Sounds like the classic Lauren Conrad Paris scenario. For Gen Z, that means choosing your crappy, toxic, temporary boyfriend over your career. The thing is, we knew Rich Paul sucked when he soft-launched his relationship with Adele by putting her as the second photo in a carousel on Instagram. Instagram. The first photo is of him and Oprah from Adele's Oprah interview. The audacity.
Are you lazy little leech?
Has anyone been able to figure out where the money raised for Black Lives Matter during 2020 has actually gone? Because it sure as hell hasn't been to help Black lives.
Then you'll say, we're not talking about this or this. We're talking about
free real estate.
According to the New York Post, Black Lives Matter Inc. transferred over $6 million to a Canadian charity run by the wife of its co-founder, Patrisse Cullors, to buy, wait for it, a mansion that had once served as the headquarters of the Communist Party.
I mean, you just can't make this up.
You were so conned. You were so conned, you morons! By the way, this was after Patrisse, co-founder of Black Lives Matter, spent $3.2 million on homes in Georgia and Los Angeles. Then she resigned. But now her wife is buying up real estate in Canada.
Dude, we're being conned.
At least 2 senior members of BLM Canada are pissed. They said they don't think it's right that their organization is taking money from the main Black Lives Matter fund and using it to buy things without consulting with other activist leaders. LOL. Honey, you are all pawns. Don't you see it? This was a get-rich-quick scheme for a couple of self-proclaimed Marxists while they dupe you into the very policies that will keep you poor and miserable.
I pity you.
Here's a few more headlines you need to know. Hit it and quit it. It's Hot Take Tuesday.
Hot Take Tuesday.
The 2019 winner of Miss USA, Chesley Christ, jumped to her death from her luxury 60-story building in Midtown New York City Sunday morning. Just absolutely devastating and disturbing. The last photo she posted on Instagram a few hours before said, "May this day bring you rest and peace." If you are struggling with anything at all, anxiety, depression, suicide, or even school, text HOME to 741-741. Jason Momoa is living in an RV after his breakup with Lisa Bonet.
First off, I am 35 years old, I am divorced, and I live in a van down by the river.
Oh, it's no van. It's a $750,000 RV.
Are you peeing?
What?
Can you move further from the van?
Peyton Manning gave a sports play-by-play of Emily in Paris for SNL, and it was amazing.
This is a classic showdown between Emily's career and her love life. Early on, the O's were getting completely dominated by the X's. And there were a lot of X's, if you know what I mean.
I do not, no.
Gabrielle, Matthew Cadeau, Timothy, Doug from Chicago, obviously. Now Emily wants to go deep on a relationship with Gabrielle and to get ahead at work. But as long as Camille's blocking her, she's got to go through her progressions and check down to Alfie in the flat. Sure, it feels like a broken play, and she's just dumping it off, but emotionally, she's making forward progress.
How much time did you spend on this?
And don't even get me started on the coaching, okay? Her friend Mindy seriously told Emily to break her pinky promise to forget about Gabrielle and stay true to Alfie. Sacre bleu, man. It's almost halftime of season 2. You gotta call a timeout there. Ooh la la, more like, oh no, you didn't, girl.
Extremely random conservatee. Sarah Palin is allegedly hooking up with former New York Rangers player Ron Duguay. They've been spotted going out together in New York City, and he's hot, so if it's true, get it, Sarah.
Looks done that body good.
Total sidebar before we end things today. Rihanna's pregnancy announcement. Absolutely iconic. I think it's one of my favorite celebrity pregnancy announcements of all time. Way better than Beyonce because it was still high fashion, but yet relatable in some way. Maybe because it was just like her and A$AP just chilling, walking through the street, you know, tummy hanging out in the cold weather. Very relatable, something we all go through on a daily basis. And no, I'm kidding about that, but I loved it. I loved it. Happy for Riri, happy for A$AP. I think they should get married. It's love. Now, I knew the Abby Johnson interview on The Spillover was going to be controversial. We prepared ourselves for that, and it has definitely been spicy reading your hot takes about it. If you haven't listened yet, you need to catch up. Subscribe to The Spillover on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Leave a 5-star review. Tell me what you think. If you enjoyed Angry Alex this episode, tap the heart. Did you agree with Joe Rogan's response to the backlash or not? You should tag Tula Skincare in the comments of this episode since, you know, they love Black Lives Matter so much, and ask them how they feel about this latest news. DM this episode to your best friend. Ask them if they'd like to come to Worm Church with you this Sunday. Also, hit the save button if you like what we do. We're back tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. It's pop culture without the propaganda every single day. I'm AlexClark, and this is POPlitics.
Get
Support POPlitics, the first ever conservative pop culture daily show, by subscribing to our channel, turning on notifications, and of course, hitting the thumbs up. Also, our main home is on Instagram. Seriously, just trust me, that's where the real magic happens. Follow us there at POPlitics.